Good morning, students. Today we shall start the new chapter called probability. As we have learned in class 9th as well, the probability of an event is denoted by PE, that is equal to NE upon NS. Now, what is the probability? Probability is just the possibility of happening an event. So NE stand for number of event favorable to the given event, and NS stand for total number of possible outcomes. So let us take one example. Let a coin is tossed once, so the number of possibilities that can be happen is either head can come or tail can come. So there are only two possibilities that can happen, so the total outcome we have two. Now any depends on the event that we are finding the probability. Now here, if we are finding the probability of head, so we have only one event which is actually favoring the event of probability of head, that is 1. So the probability of head is 1 upon 2. So since the possible outcomes, total possible outcomes are 2. Now in the similar way we can find the probability of tail, since there is only one event which is favorable in the tail outcome, so we can say that the probability of tail is again 1 by 2. Now one more formula in this year in class 10th we have that probability of not E, means the probability of not the event happening. It's just we can find by subtracting the probability of event from 1. So from here we also got one more formula, that probability of E, probability of an event plus probability of not that event is always equal to 1. So if the probability of head is 1 by 2 and we have to find the probability of not head, so we can just find it by subtracting the probability of head from 1. So we got 1 by 2. The probability of not head means if there are only two events, so the second one probability we are finding. So probability of not head means that is the probability of tail. Now you should always remember these things, that the probability of an event can always be less than greater than equal to 0, or probability of an event is always less than equal to 1. Means that means you cannot find the probability of an event greater than 1, means 1.2 or 1.3 cannot be possible, and probability of event cannot be negative, and if you are getting the probability of an event is minus sign, so that means you are doing wrong, or that is the wrong probability. If the probability of an event is 1, so that is a sure event, that is called sure event. And if the probability of an event is 0, that is impossible event, that means that cannot be happen. So let us take one more example. Suppose a die is shown, so all the possible outcomes are 1 2 3 4 5 6, that these numbers can be appears on the die. Any of these number can be appear on the die. Suppose we are finding the even number, probability of even number. So you can see that only there are three numbers which are even, 2 4 and 6. So these three events are actually there which are favoring the event even number. So NE will be 3, and total outcome, as you can see that there are 6 possible outcomes, so the probability is 3 upon 6, that after cancelling it is 1 by 2. Now also we can find the probability of odd number. Now as you can see that there is only 1 2 and 3 events which are odd numbers which are odd numbers. So these three numbers are actually favoring the probability of an odd number. So 3 upon 6 is the probability, so we can say that 1 by 2 is the probability of odd number. Now suppose we are finding the probability of a number greater than 6. Now since you can see that there is no number which is greater than 6, so actually the NE is 0 upon 6. So that is 0. So we can say that the probability of number getting a number greater than 6 is a impossible event. Impossible event, since all the numbers are or less than equal to 6, so there is no number which is greater than 6, so the probability is 0. So in this way you can also define the impossible event and a sure event. Now suppose we are finding the probability of number less than or equal to 6. So you can see that all the 6 numbers are less than and equal to 6, so we have 6 upon 6, that is 1. So this is a sure event. So if the probability of an event is 1, so that is called a sure event, and if the probability of any number is 0, so that is impossible event. So this is all about the probability, and we can solve many of problems related to this probability. So thank you so much.